Hey everyone, it's Jill here. Welcome back to my channel. Electra is here with me and it's her birthday. Say happy birthday, my little bestie. She's 1 today. We chose 1, 2, 3 as her birthday based on the age that the agency gave us when we adopted her. So we're not certain it's her actual birthday, but this is what we've chosen. So, all right, now that she's hopped down, I'm gonna get my little phone stand ready and film for real. Okay, so I am about to record some footage for day 6 of my Getting My Creativity Back arc. I will be working in my sketchbook as usual, and I wanted to share this particular cute drawing with you guys. I literally did this in 2015. These are just some little characters I came up with. Anyway, I'm going to be filling in this page. If you've been following along, I'm basically working to get my creative juices flowing again by filling the last few pages in this rather old sketchbook of mine. And the reason I'm doing that is because I have to illustrate my 3rd book this year, and I also wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my creative business since I realized I haven't really told you what my business is about. So I have reference to my books. First of all, here they are. I write a series for middle grade girls, age 8 to 12. The first book is called Jelly Bracelets and Peanut Shells. Whoops, there we go. And the second one is called A Tale of Two Kitties and Fluffy. My books are color illustrated. As of right now, I'm just getting them done print on demand through Amazon and Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark is the powerhouse behind other bookstores, other book retailers such as Barnes & Noble. So if you go to barnesandnoble.com, you can buy my books there too. And of course, my website, peanutbutterandjellysandwich.com, is linked in my description below. Anyway, that said, I did write in totality the manuscript for my 3rd book, and I literally have, I think, 45 illustrations slated for it. But because I didn't do any artwork last fall due to some crazy circumstances in my life, I'm using this particular month not only to get my YouTube channel started, but also to just put my mind back into art in general before I take on something truly, I hate to say like truly important, because all of art is important and getting your creativity back is important. But this is just an exercise, as far as filling the sketchbook, it's just an exercise to prime myself before I take on the actual illustrations and really get rolling on them. So again, thank you for being here. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you enjoy whatever I come up with to do for today, because honestly, I have no plan. I'm gonna get my camera set up overhead so you can watch what I'm doing, and we're just gonna go from there together. Okay, so I recorded that segment and forgot to talk about my business beyond the books. So I have a whole character universe built out for these little guys. In fact, here's the guide page from book 2. I think it goes to the next page as well. So as far as my creative business, what I want to do, what I'm going to be doing, there we go, there's a few more, is creating products that feature the characters on them, such as notebooks, for instance, journals, maybe even get into like stationery sets and things like that. So once I get going on my illustrations, I'm also going to start designing products once I feel ready for that step, and I can't wait to bring you guys along for the journey. So we're gonna go so far beyond filling an old sketchbook. So I hope you all stick with me. And with that said, now I'm going to get set up to film from overhead. And also maybe by the end of this video, I'll get my painting box out and switch that, because I still have a Christmas painting up. And as of today, it is, well, I already said it's the 23rd because my cat's birthday is 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I'm gonna fix that, I swear. Okay, so I've got my blank page ready to go, and I've got a set of Prismacolor grayscale markers here. They go from 10% gray through 10% increments up through 90%. And then finally, we've got 3 just full-on regular black markers. So I'm going to be using those. And because this is all just for fun, I have some circle objects here that I'm going to just use to make a pattern. I'm going to just trace them in pencil, and then I'm going to fill them in using the grayscale markers, and we'll see how that works out. Here we go. I literally pulled all these things from my bathroom. Just various lids for stuff. That one didn't work quite so well, but we'll figure it out. We'll just figure everything out as we go along. Totally feel like I did something like this in elementary school. It is quite possible. Okay, so the last circle I have here is a New York City subway token, which is wild to me because even by the time I was working in New York City, tokens were a thing of the past. They were onto Metro cards. And the really crazy thing is that now they're phasing out Metro cards. What is the world even coming to? Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there as far as drawing circles. Oop, wait, maybe one or two more. Okay, I think I'm ready to start the next phase here, which is gonna be to, do I wanna outline these first or color them in first? Decisions, decisions. Oh, are we in furry menace mode right now? Okay, as long as I'm aware. I just don't know if I can trust you. All right, so just a disclaimer, this is a chisel tip marker. The thin fine point sides of these no longer work because I've literally had these markers so long that unfortunately that side dried out on them. And I'll be honest, I do not love chisel tips. I don't really remember why I bought this particular brand of markers in college. It was very likely that it was recommended for us by our professors, or maybe it was just what was available at the local art store. But I'd much prefer like the tips that are on, say, Sharpies, where they're just pointy, because there's a lot of variation to the width of the lines that I'm now tracing around my pencil circles, and I don't love it, but since this is just an exercise in creativity, I'm just gonna keep rolling forward with it and see what I come out with as the final product, even though, like I said, I'm not super happy with how this is going, but I'm gonna keep forging forward nevertheless. Because you just never know what's gonna develop as you keep going. right. Well, that's as good as that's gonna get. So with that, I'm going to get started coloring the insides of the circles. And I think for my next project, I'm definitely gonna use color. I am already not so thrilled I decided to do this, but we're gonna stick to plan. All right, I'm gonna just start with, why not? I'm gonna just work backwards. I'm gonna do the 90% and just see what happens. Well, at least this is not nearly as dried out as the black markers. This feels a lot smoother. This is good. This is good. Oops. All right, switching down to 80% now. I will say markers are, to me, more satisfying to color with than crayons and much more satisfying than pastels, but that's just my humble opinion. All right, 70%. %. All right, we're now at 50%. I have to admit, it's a little difficult even in bright sunlight for me to differentiate these 10% increments, but that's okay. This is just an exercise. I keep telling myself the whole point is just to have fun with it and see what results. Oh, this one's dry. Oh. I can't use this one. Oh, that stinks. Let's see, 40%. That one works. Okay, we're just gonna go with this. %. That cap chose violence. I feel like this one is drying up as I'm using it, unfortunately. Oy. down to the last two. This one's the 20%, and then I guess whatever's left, I'll just kind of figure out after I use the 10 and 20%. Here we go. All right, down to the 10% one. Okay, it's time to do something crazy to finish this off. Oh yeah, I'm adding color. But just a little, just enough to make this come alive. To be honest, I can't tell which of these have the 10% gray in them and which are still actually white paper, especially because this particular page was smudged, so it wasn't as pure white as it could have been to start with, but I'm just gonna keep rolling. What can I say? And I think it's done. No, there's still a few white spots left. I lied. Spoke too soon. Okay, now it's done. I know that on camera some of this might look like it's still white, but I assure you that's 10% gray. Oh wait, this is actually technically the angle I drew it from. So how do I feel about this? Well, it filled a page. That's about all I can say. This just makes me want to work in color, and that's what we're going to do next. So hi from below. I promise I will come back at a more appropriate angle later on, but for now I'm just gonna get set up to do another page. Okay, so since I only want to do one more page today, I have here these silver gel pens. I don't even know if they're still all good or not, but they're called XJY line painters. I think I saw these advertised on Instagram a few years ago and I bought them on a whim. They're not the best, and you'll see why. They look like they're going to be different colors, but in reality they're all mostly silver with just a little hint of other color. So anyway, I'm going to do a little word doodle for Electra since it's her birthday, and that's going to fill this next page. So here we go. Okay, well this is cute, this was fun, and it was fast. However, I totally forgot to put first birthday, but you know what, that's okay. That's literally why I added the date there, so I'll remember. But anyway, I like this. I'm gonna stop recording for now and check in a little bit, but I think this is the last page that I'm gonna do today, and I'm gonna get started on more video editing. Thanks for being here, you guys. Gotta get my thumbnail. So yeah, I feel only marginally better about this circle drawing than I do about the first drawing that I did in my first video last week. I kind of like the little birthday word doodle a little better, but anyway, I counted it up and I actually have 14 blank pages still left in this sketchbook. For some reason, I thought I only had like 8 when I started this endeavor. So I'll be honest, I don't know for how much longer I'll continue this particular arc of getting my creativity back. I'm thinking 1 more week at most, because that'll get me to the end of January. But because I've been doing this, I already kind of feel like I'm ready, or pretty close to being ready to start illustrations for my 3rd book, as opposed to just continuing to randomly doodle. So at the very least, I think I'm going to do more coloring book style pages for myself next week, so they're more color with me videos. But ultimately, I think this is working as far as just having gotten my creative juices flowing again and feeling a little closer to ready as far as getting out like my pencil and eraser and really digging my heels in for illustrations, because when it comes to illustrations, I do all the line drawings in a sketchbook and then I convert them to digital before I colorize them. So wait, color. Anyway, thank you again for sticking with me. Please like, subscribe, comment, and again, the link to my books will come up on the end screen here, as well as there, it's linked in the description below. So anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.